There was a bit of an uproar when the government decided to lower excise taxes on heated tobacco products, making them cheaper than cigarettes. Now, Labour's health spokesperson Aisha Verrall slammed that decision at the time, calling it a total sham, but one public health expert says it's no scandal. And if we're serious about reducing smoking rates, a one-size-fits-all approach to excise taxes might not be the way to go. Ruth Bonita, Emeritus Professor from Auckland University, joins me now in the studio. Good morning, Ruth.
Good morning, Garth.
So, heated tobacco products, what are we talking about so people have got a clear idea? This is not vapes, right?
That's not vapes, it's a tobacco product. And so it would seem that the last thing we need is to reduce taxes. But heating a tobacco is different from burning tobacco, and that's the essential difference.
So are we framing this all up wrong by trying to target the products or talking about it and more focusing on what we want to actually happen?
What we're really looking for is a less harmful product. So if you're not burning the tobacco, you're not absorbing all those toxic chemicals and carcinogens in the burnt tobacco. So the smoke is killing people. It's not nicotine. So there's another way to get some nicotine, which is heating the tobacco. And apparently that seems to be, and most likely to be, much less harmful because you're not absorbing the burnt tobacco.
Theoretically, but we don't know for sure, do we? And we don't know what sort of impacts it has on people's attitudes to smoking.
That's true. I agree, Garth. It's a new apparently sort of. We do know from real world examples though that some countries have taken it on in a big way. Japan, for example. 30% of the Japanese population who are smokers are smoking heated products, not burnt ones. That's a good thing. Their cigarette consumption has plummeted. And we also know from independent UK toxicology and the public health and disability independent reviews that it's more likely to be less harmful. So if it's less harmful, I think that's what's attracted a less high tax.
So it's a less high tax, and we know that it's a bit of a monopoly product here. I think it's Philip Morris International,
yes,
the only ones that bring it in here, right? So there were some immediate concerns that people had about, look, you're just looking after one particular supplier, right? Are there some concerns there?
Of course there are. It's because Philip Morris has a monopoly. They need to be passing on. Well, any company should pass on the saved tax, pass it on completely to the consumer.
And they're not.
The point of it, they're not.
Well, you tell me.
I do know that the local vape shops dropped the price of heated sticks from 17 to 14. But is that the whole lot? I don't know. It should be every single cent going to the consumer. The government is trying to open up options for people who find it really hard to quit smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes are the most uniquely harmful product. Anything would be better than that in terms of the exposure that they have to chemicals.
We've still got about, I think, 7% of the population that light up a cigarette or smoke something like that, right? Is that that's just how it is? There's always going to be some people smoking.
No, well, you're quite right. There will always be a very few percent of people, probably older people, who are not readily prepared to switch to different products that they're used to. But that 7% is absolutely crucial. It's hundreds of thousands of people, 200,000 plus. They need a range of options. They need healthier options to be cheaper options. And if they can access heated tobacco products, it's only going to be a very small fraction who will do it. Very small market. And I think that we're on the right track here in New Zealand. We're a world leader. We should be discussing how we can accelerate that last 2% to get down to 5%. Which is smoke-free New Zealand.
It's always the last bit that's tricky, isn't it, Ruth?
It's always the last bit that's tricky.